started seeing some rain yesterday, but probably not as much as we were hoping for, especially with some of those drought conditions we're going to get into. So this was the forecast we had from yesterday. Into northern Minnesota, expected around probably an inch or a bit more. And by the time we got around Twin City, around a half an inch or less. And then by the time we're into southern portions of northwest Wisconsin, we're mostly down to 1/10 of an inch. Now, when it comes to what we have already seen so far, well, in far northern Minnesota, we have seen around an inch. And, around International Falls, 1/2 inches, or I should say 1¼ inches. And overall, we've been seeing around an inch along the international border. So that it came as expected. However, that gradient from north to south, it was a lot steeper than we hoped for. As you can see, once we got around the Iron Range, we're talking about around 1/10 of an inch of rain. By the time we got to the Twin Ports, we're now already looking at less than 1/10 of an inch since yesterday. So we haven't seen a ton of rain for areas further south away from northern Minnesota. And the reason why we wanted that rain is, well, we do have those drought conditions abnormally dry for much of the Northland. And we see this area right here that is under that moderate drought going from Hayward into a significant portion of Minnesota and here in the Northland. So we wanted that drought, well, some of that rain to help here. Fortunately, though, it looks like right where the drought is at worse here in the Northland, this is where we didn't really see as much as we were hoping for. Hopefully we do see a bit more in the future we're going to get into. We actually see a little bit more today, but it looks like most of the showers are going to be moving out. Now, around Grand Marais, again, we've been seeing it all morning. This is the area Cook County has been seeing a lot of that rainfall from this morning, but we also been seeing along the cold front going from Hayward, now making his way up through Ashland. So we're seeing a decent amount of shower action here this morning, something just to be ready for as you step out this morning. But as we head later on to today, those showers are going to move off into the UP, maybe still sticking around in the Arrowhead and parts of International Falls. But for many of us, especially around the Twin Ports going south along the I-35 corridor, we're looking at pretty sunny conditions potentially. I mean, you still have clouds around, but the sun will finally be poking on through as we're entering the dry side of this system. But the winds are going to keep on going still. In fact, as we get into later today, going to be out of the southwest, gusting up to 30 miles per hour, times sustained 15 miles per hour or more. So going to be a bit of a breezy one today, especially on the Minnesota side. And when it comes to those temperatures, all the cloud cover we had overnight, as well as that warm front passing through, we're seeing this plume of warmer air going all the way down here from the south, all the way up here into the Northland. And it has allowed those current temperatures to be quite mild. We're looking at many of us into the lower 60s, especially as you go further west along the I-35 corridor. A little bit cooler in the Arrowhead this morning, but we're still talking mid-50s, so very mild this morning. And as we get later today, with that sun especially, you might see those temperatures get into the upper 60s, low 70s, primarily once you get around the I-35 corridor into northwest Wisconsin. So it is going to feel very warm for October standards, a little bit cooler once you get toward International Falls, as we're still going to have that cloud cover and some of that cooler air is going to start wrapping around. So not all of us are going to feel a warmth, but quite a number of us will feel that. But as we get later into the future, notice that we're not going to be feeling that warmth for very long. We're going to just steadily drop on those temperatures. By the time we get to Tuesday, look at that, into the 40s. And overall, it's going to feel pretty nice into the 50s starting tomorrow and just keep on cooling into the start of this coming week. And we look at those high temperatures on Tuesday specifically because it is going to feel quite a bit chillier. We're looking at 40s, as I mentioned, for highs, maybe some low 50s further south, but overall it's going to be closer to seasonal. Actually, this is going to be a bit below that seasonal average for this time of year. So, we've been right on that warm side for quite a bit of this month, and actually last month to include that, but we're finally going to feel some cooler weather make its way in next week. The reason why is because we're going to have a bit more cold front action. We're going to see some on Saturday. Another cold front is going to move through. That's going to bring some showers as well, making its way through Saturday, pushing eastward and towards the UP once we get into the overnight hours. And then we're going to have a pretty dry Sunday, full of sunshine, so that's going to be really nice. But another system is going to move through. It's going to be kind of like a clipper type system, and it's going to bring some more rain along the cold front and on the backside of the system as we head into Tuesday. If we get cold enough, maybe a few snowflakes mix in there. Not going to forecast any like snow to stick down, but I see some snowflakes in parts of northern Minnesota. But overall, it's still going to be rain, and generally, it's also just going to continue to bring that cool weather. But until we see that cool weather coming up as we get in the next week, for now, we're going to continue to feel the warmer weather to end this week, a bit of rain action, and just enjoy Sunday, because it looks like over the next 7 days, Sunday is going to be a really nice day to get out.